Alright, now that I'm done with optimizing my photo, I'm going to actually start building kind of this skeleton layout for my site. So let me start just by renaming this, I guess just bg.jpg. That's easy enough. And I'm going to fire up one of my favorite code editors, and I use TextMate. I say it's one of my favorite, well, first because the company gave it to me for free so I could, use in my videos, but it's just great. I mean, it's a color coding editor, lightweight, and I do the bare bones stuff over here. Actually, I do most of my work through TextMate, but when I'm ready to, once I actually get the layout for my site done through TextMate, I'm totally gonna open up Dreamweaver so I could, get all that other stuff that I don't want to put in manually, like doc type and character declarations and all that other good stuff. So let's start with the basic foundation of any web page, and that's the good old HTML tag. And next on the list is the head, and I make sure I close the head as well. And then let me put a space because we're going to have to add some stuff in there. And then I'll put the body. I'll save this guy, save it right here, index.html. Save it on my desktop, and okay, all of a sudden start to color code it. So in this implementation, we actually add the image into the HTML. So to add an image into HTML, we use the img tag, and then we need to put the source attribute on there. We got quotes, and the source is bg.jpg. So bg.jpg. Let's save this, and let's look at what our document looks like now. So there you go. It has the whole image set up in there, but it's not really what we want to happen, right? Because we want this thing to be stretchy. We want it to resize as you resize the browser. So how would you do that? We know that we could add height and width attributes to images, so let's do that. But now we have two choices. Where should we add the height and width? Are we going to add the height and width to this image in the actual inline image as attributes to it, or should we add it in our CSS? Well, think about why you would add height and width to an image in your HTML. Because if someone's on a slower connection and the page downloads, what happens is if you don't set a height and width attributes for that image, then first all the content's gonna download, and say if there's an image that kind of floats to the left or takes up a certain space, well, it's going to be set to 0. So as soon as that content's going to download, and then the image is going to download. So what's going to happen is the content is going to jump around, because all of a sudden when the browser grabs the image, it's going to have to make space for it. So you would add the height and width almost as a placeholder for that upcoming image to keep it from being jumpy. Now for us, in this situation, we're using, and we know not in the best way, we're using this image for a background in our HTML. So personally, I think it would be best to add it in our CSS, the width and the height. So style type, what did I, you know what, I'm always forget this, I always forget how to start the embedded style declaration. So CSS embedded styles, I obviously don't know how to spell either. And we'll just look real quick at, there we go, style type. I always end up messing this up slightly, but that's why we have the internet, right? I don't need type capitalized. And I'll save style. There we go. And now I need to target this image. So let me just go img. Thinking we should probably put a class on this since we may have other images in there. Yeah, let me do that because I know we're going to end up having other images in our code over here. So if I just do image width 100% and height 100%, then that's actually going to affect all of the images I may have in here later, which, is not a problem now, but okay, I'll go back and create that class. So let's just see if this works. Beautiful, beautiful. It does exactly what we want it to do. The proportions get skewed a little bit, but it's cool. I mean, this is like a background thing. Mostly I just want the blueness over here. But yeah, before I move forward with that, with anything else, I'm anticipating I'm going to have a class. So I'm going to do class. I'm anticipating that I'm going to have other images on here, so I need to make this a bit unique. Class, and actually maybe BG image. So we'll do that, and then in order to get this to jive, we do BG image dot img, right? Because this is the class. Or I got a little bit. Hang on. I guess my dyslexia is in full effect today. There we go. The image, it says you're targeting an image with this class. So let's see if that still works. Yes, it does. It didn't change, but it wasn't supposed to, because we basically just added a class attribute to it.